Okay, it is 5:15 on Thursday, June 19th, and we are at the regular Marketing and Communications Committee meeting. Call the meeting to order, and Rebecca, I guess it's going to be just you and I again as the quorum, so consider approving the minutes from the previous meeting.
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes.
And I will second it. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, and that carries. Item 3, general agenda items. We would like to, if you have no objection, rearrange because Scott needs to leave in half an hour. So if we could do 1, 2, and then combine 3 and 6 right after that, and then we'll go back up to 4, 5. So any objections to switching the order of that? Okay, item 1, discuss and consider the May revenue and expense reports. The only thing that I will say is I did have some questions that I spoke to Emily about, and she's revised some of the numbers that are on that report that didn't carry through from, we had done a budget amendment with the council to put social media archiving in there, and so she corrected that, and let's see, the social media contractor number doesn't appear right on there, and she said she needs to do a general journal entry to correct that on there. So otherwise, does anyone else have any other questions on that report or the food truck report? Okay, hearing none, we'll go on to the Food Truckapalooza review. We'll just let Hallie walk us through that.
I think it went well. We figure we had probably at least 3,000 people there. We had 30 trucks, the 40 to 50 craft vendors, along with quite a few of them had double and a few had 3 spaces each, so that we took 71 spots for the craft and vendor show, so that was good. Again, I would like to thank all the sponsors and the volunteers. We couldn't have had that event without you guys, from behind the scenes to the day of the event. It was great. I'm waiting for the expense and revenue numbers to see where we end up. I will have that for next month, just to have everything. But right now, we're sitting positive at least $3,500, and that's not including last year's money that carried over. So I'll figure that out by next month. I wrote up the recap. If anybody has any questions, let me know. But the feedback went well.
Well, thank you for all of your hard work.
Thanks.
I attended. I thought it was very well organized. I thought it was a lot easier to move around. I think the comments were dead on that you got. So just from a citizen point of view, thanks. It was awesome. I had fun until the wind got so cold we had to leave.
Parka optional.
Yes.
All right. Any other comments on the Food Truckapalooza? All right. Then we will move on to discuss items 3 and 6 together, which is the annual business survey videos, what our next steps are, and then to discuss and consider the business survey video production in collaboration with Maisie Schlueter. So I'm going to let Scott kind of lead that discussion.
So we had great response from the local businesses. We had 12 businesses respond that they would participate in sharing their stories about living, working, and playing here in Merrill. We also might have 1 or 2 additional of those coming up as well. To keep the ball rolling, we reached out, we followed up with them, let them know that we would be reaching out to them. Hallie's going to take the lead on that and start getting that going, and I'm going to roll right into the other thing. We met with Maisie, who works at Church Mutual. She was a videographer, multimedia person on my team when I was there. She does a fantastic job. She also was previously a reporter for Channel 12, the sports reporter, so she's very, very good at interviews and getting people to feel very comfortable. We met with her prior to this, and she's putting together a proposal to actually do these videos for us so that we can have a very consistent, professional look and to all the videos. She's going to do, the videos will be long shot, but they'll be divided up into small sections. So, if someone wants to talk about their job, we'll just do a section about their job. If they want to talk about this, they can do that. So, we have 12 of these folks, and then we'll probably end up with, 48 stories. So we're going to have a lot of ammo going into next year, 2026, about living, working, playing here in Merrill. She said she'd have a proposal to us probably within a week. And so we may want to do a special session, have you take a look at the budget and get that approved. And, other than that, we're going to just come up with a consistent intro and outro to the videos. Look, feel, a vibe, all that kind of stuff, so that as we move along with it, it'll just be a very positive reflection on our community. And the nice thing about this too is, if we do a great job on these, next year businesses will be asking us if they can do a video. So it's really, we're consistently proving that we're doing something. We did the survey, we didn't get the results we want, but we shared all the results in a timely manner. We asked people for if they do the video, and we responded to them in a timely manner. And now Hallie's working, if Maisie comes through and what we need, we'll respond once again in a timely manner. The goal is to have everything in the can by the end of 2025 so that we can launch all this in 2026.
And the primary target for these are going to be YouTube ads and Facebook shorts, or?
Well, it'll be YouTube and Facebook. Yep, both. We could take a look at Reels. I'm not sure how that's going. They got great dad jokes, but we'll take a look at that. But we also have to take a look at part of what you'll see in the marketing piece is resources needed. So we're going to need to make sure that it would be great to be on maybe 3-4 different social media platforms. But the reality of it is we need to focus our efforts on ones that we can manage properly.
Okay, does anyone have any thoughts on any of that aspect of it at all right now, or concerns? I don't know that we need to really take any particular action on it right now. We'll wait and see what Maisie comes back with, and Rod?
Would she be working through Church Mutual?
No, she'd be a freelancer. She would not have an LLC. She'd be a consultant. So we'd have to make sure that that's okay. We've told her and advised her to be 100% transparent with Church Mutual. My feeling is Church Mutual would be supportive of this one way or the other, just because they're in the same situation other businesses are with attracting. We've also made all of ourselves available to Church Mutual if they have any questions.
Okay. Anything else on that subject line? Okay, when we get a proposal from her, we'll bring that back and try and keep everything moving forward then.
Exciting.
Yeah. Okay. Item 4, discuss and consider the revised marketing strategy, and that's provided in the packet, and I will let Scott lead that conversation also.
It's a wish list.
Wish list, and yeah.
We have a lot of opportunity to do things. Reality of it is we're going to have to prioritize based on resources. So based on where we're at, I put together a draft, and this is open for comments, changes, tomatoes. I'm open for anything. And then taking a look at what we can do, and I'd rather do 3 things extremely well than try to do 5 things not as good, and then build upon those things. So, the video and the photography, I think are our number one priority. Get our story out there from people. Third-party testimonials are just very powerful, and the videos are, obviously everybody knows videos are strong. So we have the real people, real stories. One of the things I missed on item B with things we're going to talk to them about is we also want to talk to them about events and activities. We want to understand, if they like to fish, if they love gazebo nights, if, things that they like to do, the activities. We want to make sure people understand that there's a lot to do here. So, this is a wish list. It talks about the stuff because at the end of the day, it comes down to human resources and budget. And so, take a good look at this, and we can put it up for discussion and start refining it, narrowing it down, and putting some actual action items to the proposal.
So with that being said, I think the priorities that we've kind of landed on are the A, B, and C, D to start with as far as the main ones. Is that a correct statement as far as, priority of moving forward on these?
And we're also, roll in any kind of targeted ad campaign would use to support what we do with the number one priority.
Okay.
Any comments?
I think B is going to be really good. The stories, real people, real stories.
And we're still going to target the same 25 to 45. I know that we've had a lot of discussion about targeting students. I think that, personally, I just think that's going to require a different tactic altogether. I don't think that will roll into this as much. We've got the alumni program down here, ambassador program. The REV initiative is also taking a look at that age group as well. So, it's not something we want to forget about. I know that there's some pieces in place already that the city does a good job with. But as far as the actual advertising of the community, trying to attract people outside. I was at the conference, entrepreneurial conference in Wisconsin Rapids this week. And we're not alone in what we found from our survey, that cities are getting applications from outside, but they're hiring mainly from inside their locale, and makes sense. We want to keep people here, but the reality is we're just moving people around. We're not attracting and building a population base for our future. So one of the things that we've thought about doing that's not on here is possibly having a sit down with local businesses and finding out exactly what kind of jobs are having a hard time hiring within our county, and then maybe put a focus on those rather than spreading it so thin. Because if they're saying, no, I'm really having a hard time bringing this type of talent or this type of skill set in here, I'm not finding it here, then maybe those are the things we focus on. Because we want people to stay here, and I can see why they'd hire a local person over a person from outside if the skill set and everything is the same. So we have to look a little bit deeper and say, we get it. What do we need that we can't find here? So I think that's something we need to take a look at.
I think when we get to that point too, that's where, some of the under E, teaming with, those are things that we can expand on who we're going to team with to try and accomplish some of that. And not so much we just are under the assumption, the Chamber and the Lincoln Community Economic Development, that those relationships are going to continue to exist. So it's not like we nixed anybody off of here. Those are a continuous relationship that we'll continue to build on, but these are probably some new ones that we'll expand into in order to continue growing forward.
With the changes that we have with the budget as far as marketing and communication and some of the other expenses being cut, this will give us a good opportunity going into the budget to prioritize and see where we are. I like your point of we'd like to do everything, but we know it's not feasible. It's one of those things where give us a good chance going into the budget to work on these things. So, Thank you.
Okay, any other comments on any of this plan or any of the, we definitely want your input. Scott and Hallie and I and Rod have kind of been juggling through this stuff, but we want the entire committee to have input, and not even the committee. If you're outside the committee and you still want to interject something, please do by all means, so that we're taking this into consideration as we go forward.
Want to say I think the biggest thing is really scheduling. I know that, and that's just me preaching to the choir, scheduling the time. So when can we schedule families to go out and make candid pictures? When can we put like on Mommy's and Me page? Like, can we book your family to go and do this? It's one thing to say that you're going to go and capture these photos and hopefully you walk around town and you find these things. But from experience too, we just have to actually schedule these things and hope for the best. If it's a rainy day, there's still things to do in Merrill when it's raining. So that's my biggest thing is like, I knew I was off last week. I really should have hit up Scott to say, hey, come take some family photos of us doing things, but life. So I think that's just my biggest like point is it's great to talk about it, but let's actually get some action now and be forthcoming of taking these pictures and doing these things and not relying on the same couple photographers or whoever to get us pictures. Because I really want to do a better job of, too, getting robust. I know one thing for the chamber, we're going to try to do a photo contest for the visitor guide this year. So hopefully we can get some more candid array of family photos or whatever it is, and show that it's great for all ages. So, and that's one thing I like about having Miley, our youth apprentice, is because she's started some TikToks and she's getting that like high schooler age too to like look at what's going on in Merrill too. So ramping up that, and again, that's where the partnership and things like that come in. But yeah, my biggest comment, I guess, is just like, let's schedule, let's do it. So.
What is Mommies and Me?
Or there's a Mommies of Merrill Facebook page that I'm sure Hallie's on it too. But yeah, we're both on it. I think it's probably a great resource to reach out to try to get the younger families to get a sense of getting some people to come out maybe and get some pictures of them. So it's not just like Hallie and I's family all the time. Or,
Yeah, I mean,
you
it'd
know what
also
I
be
mean?
nice if we could get
Doesn't
folks
sound very
leans.
inclusive.
Right. So if we try to break out into the other, groups that are in Facebook.
disguises.
There we go.
Is there
As much as I want all the free photos and whatnot,
a
like,
daddies and dogs page?
there
too,
might be,
maybe?
and I think that would be a great angle too.
Daddy and dogs. I like that.
So,
Good point.
Those are good points, Sarah. All right, anything else anybody want to interject about the plan? And I mean, it's an ongoing discussion, so feel free if you have an idea after you get home and think about it for 3 days to follow up with something or whatever. Okay, hearing nothing, I guess we can move on to the next item, which is to discuss and consider purchasing a GoPro Action Bundle. And what this would be for the marketing committee. And Hallie, I'll let you elaborate.
Yeah, so we were looking at what we can do. My camera does not work anymore. So we're just trying to figure out what we can have for the marketing committee and what would be the best option for us to purchase for getting these videos or short videos, B-roll, candid family photos. And I talked to Dustin Brown, our IT, and he said a GoPro would be a really good option. So this is what he found on Best Buy right now. It was on sale last week. I don't know about this week. It's not something we need to buy today. It's just something to look at. I would like an extra SD card just because of the videoing that we're going to be doing. Just for around here and getting more things on Facebook. I think a GoPro is going to be a good idea.
I think it's a good idea. Anything we do ourselves will be cheaper too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Instead of spending thousands on a camera that doesn't do both, I think this is a good option.
I think someone commented about even being able to use it then to do the video of the bike trails while you're out riding around or whatever, things like that too. So
Is that something we need a motion for then?
yeah, I think we can do a motion. I guess I would be willing to make a motion to allow you and Dustin to purchase something not to exceed $700
I'll second that.
along the lines of the GoPro camera, not just anything.
Right. GoPro, the tripod, the GoPro, the SD card, and the bundle would be great.
Yeah, okay. So motion's been made and seconded. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. And then the motion carries. Let's see. Next, Chamber of Commerce update. Sarah, do you have anything to share
Yeah,
with us?
I have a couple things. I just wanted to mention one. I did, now that you guys were talking about it, you doing something right. We had a guy call, I believe, and ask for a visitor guide because he's looking to move to the area because he might be a bus driver for the city. So there you go. People are noticing some stuff, obviously, but I just thought that was kind of fun. So obviously I sent that out right away. Just want to say we had a great, successful golf outing. So thank you again for all of our sponsors, volunteers, all of those that made it possible. So thank you, and obviously the golfers, Rod. And then I just want to mention too, we're going to the state fair again this year in August. So if anyone is interested in taking a shift or going down, let Clyde know. I'm sure we can get you in. But again, just representing Merrill, handing out visitor guides, all of that. I believe it's somewhat during our fair time frame. So it'll be difficult, I'm sure, for some people to go, but we're going to try to get down there. We take a spot, I should say, with Travel Wisconsin. So we're there only one day, but it's a good day to be. I think it's a Saturday that they're going. We're going to go down, spread Merrill. But speaking of spreading Merrill, I did bring some copies. Just launched today our press release on Lincoln County Tourism saw a record-breaking year in 2024. We're able to contribute $113 million in economic impact in 2024 in Lincoln County, contributing to the Wisconsin record-breaking role. So I do have press release copies here if anyone wants any. So Travel Wisconsin kind of puts this out there for everyone. But again, if anyone wants, I can hand it out. Essentially what they're looking at is the direct impacts, meaning visitor spending that creates the direct economic impact within a defined set of sectors. The indirect impact, meaning businesses are providing direct services to visitors, purchasing goods and services. And then the induced impacts, additional business activity is generated as employees spend income locally that are earned due to visitor activity. I know Clyde will be presenting probably to the city council at some point too to talk more about it, but just know that we had a record-breaking year. Last year, total economic impact for Wisconsin was $109 million. So this year, again, $113 million, so 3.3% change. We contributed 671 jobs towards that, and taxes 6.1 million, labor income 19.4 million. So we're doing good things here in Lincoln County. So
Sarah, you mentioned the visitor's guide. Is there a deadline on the advertising for that?
we have not sat down to define. I am hoping to, by the end of July, go out and do sales for that. So we haven't actually even, we don't have a deadline per se, but we're probably going to be working with one of the local, Scott here, to create the actual layout this year. But nothing has been set in stone yet. But we have to figure out pricing for ads because I'm hoping to start selling ads by the end of July, preferably before I have baby, end of September. So, but otherwise, yeah, I know Hallie reached out about that, but no, we don't have pricing for ads yet. So that is one thing holding me up on that.
And then you mentioned about the potential, with the new busing company moving in and people inquiring.
Oh, busing was city busing, I think, but it might have been co-busing. But yes.
Well,
Now that I think about it, I don't
in
know.
general, I guess what I was alluding to is, do you guys have like some type of a welcome package?
No, that's another thing that's been on our to-do list, is a welcome packet. So we do have people that obviously stop in and ask for welcome packets. We give them obviously the visitor guide, and then we go through like if the Photo News has their activity guide, and other like events and things like that are going on. But there has been obviously talk since I've been there, doing a welcome guide, welcome kit, getting it to the like title companies, the realtors, things like that. Just another project on our very long to-do list. So if anyone ever wants to form a committee to help us create it. It shouldn't be too hard to do, but again, I know other communities like Rhinelander, Minocqua, even Tomahawk, I think they do have the welcome wagon thing, and you get coupons, or you get, here, start your savings account at XYZ Financial. So yes, it is a wish list item that I would love to work on.
Okay.
So again, yeah, if anyone ever wants to step up and help us get that committee going and actually get that going, we would love the help, but because it is something that it's not too often, but we do have enough people that obviously are wanting more information. Obviously, it could really be utilized with the title and realtors. So,
All right.
yeah.
Any other comments or questions? Okay, Lincoln County Economic Development. Sarah, are you on the line? Almost. Hold on a second. Okay, try it now.
All right, is this better?
Much, thank you.
All right, so I don't have a huge update this month, just kind of an FYI that I, along with 4 other members of the Rural Entrepreneurial Venture Team here in Merrill, did attend the Entrepreneurial Connections Conference down in Wisconsin Rapids this week. It was a really good event. I know Scott mentioned it earlier in the meeting as well. There's a lot of great takeaways, and I think a lot of good information about the resources and the techniques that we'll be able to implement to try and get our entrepreneurs to come and stay in the Merrill area. And so while I can't say today exactly which ones we're going to do, I do know that we are already starting to kind of unpack what each of us heard in the different sessions. And I'm really excited for our conversation at the REVS meeting in July, because I think we've got some really strong takeaways that we're going to be able to bring to the Merrill community and beyond to help support and recruit and retain people who have that entrepreneurial mindset, and by proxy, hopefully build up a stronger quality of life for our community and make it easier for our marketing team here to bring people in, and maybe even get some more stories and things like that to play into the marketing strategies that you're working on right now. So I just wanted to make you aware that there's some great progress from that angle that I think is going to have really good synergy with the things that you're talking about and that you've laid out in your marketing strategy and things along those lines. So that was the main thing I wanted to just bring to your attention this month. But if you have any questions on anything else, I am happy to address those.
Okay, thank you, Sarah. Anybody else have any questions for? Nope. All right, thank you very much. Then I think we'll move on to Hallie's monthly reports.
We had 50 new Facebook page likes this month, which is higher than what we've normally had. It's been around 20, 25 each month, so that was a good jump this time around. Does anybody have any questions? No. The one thing I did want to point out on that website analytics page, I didn't put the Food Truckapalooza from other months, but this month in May, there were 1389 views just looking for the Food Truckapalooza, and that was leading right up to the event. So that was a good tick to see. But otherwise, everything else, the numbers were higher than April. So that was a positive as well. That's
Okay.
really all I had.
Okay. I don't know, it's not really a question, or I don't know if it's even a suggestion, because you maybe are doing it, but if we're not already following some of the other communities, local, to see their city pages or whatever, like the Shawano or Antigo or whatever, just might be good to link up to
I have quite a
those.
few that I follow.
Okay. Sounds good. Any other questions for Hallie or comments? Or
Suggestions, anything?
if not, then I will take a motion to consider placing the reports on file.
I'll make a motion to put the reports on file.
I'll second it. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Public comment. I'm guessing we don't have public comment because we don't have public tonight, but thank you. And then next meeting, Thursday, July 17th at 5:15. We'll make that one fast so we can all go to the gazebo. All right. And a motion to adjourn.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Second it. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Thank you all.